with more funding, what objectives will you fulfill? Like in terms of, you said these are the top three things I would like to accomplish, and if we get the funding, these would be the three things I really want to do first.
Well, the most important thing that we want to do, and funding will help this, is establish a network of doctors and clinics in these districts. So these clinics that we don't, it's no good to come into an area for a one-day clinic. If you do that, sure, you can take care of colds and coughs, but that's not what we want to do.
Right.
So we need to establish in these areas continuity clinics that not only we have visiting doctors come in, but local doctors work with us and we work together and eventually transfer the care over to them. And that takes time and money. We have to get some people over here to initially set up these clinics, and it's a lot of administrative work.
And when you say administrative, with government here to get permission?
We have permission, but that took us a little time. We just got permission, and I've been doing this for a while. So we've gotten permission from the capital of the province, and once they say yes, all the districts will say yes.
Okay, so now that you have it, you can, if you have the funding, you can expand it. You don't have to go through the same paperwork bureaucracy.
Right, and they will help us a lot. And we're the first health-related charity in Central Vietnam working with healthcare of adults. I mean, there's charities here working with children and disabilities, but so we have a lot of. Quang Nam province is very big, and so we went and saw them a couple weeks ago, and they were very excited about what we wanted to do. And basically said, just let us know what you want to do, which is kind of an open door, and there's a lot, it's a little overwhelming. So we're going to have to focus on, there's a lot of heart defects and a lot of things in adults which are, one person has, and it takes a lot of resources to help that person out, and we're willing to do that, but that can bog you down. We're trying to focus ourselves on these chronic diseases, monitoring for them, treating them, and educating the doctors on how to do it. Because I think that for us is going to be the biggest impact.
And for any required tests, do you still have to send them to the Vietnamese hospitals? Let's say this lady needs follow-up for blood.
Sure, we do. If I had an unlimited funding, which I'm sure is out there somewhere, I would love to have a clinic here where I could do all that stuff. Even if it was in Hoi An, just a clinic or a small hospital that was charitable and that took care of patients, where we could do X-rays and labs and. I can only do so much here. We can actually check for anemia here, we can check their urine, and we can check for diabetes, but it would sure be nice to have a one-stop shop. They come in, we get them sorted out, and then we get them on a treatment plan to send them. And that could even be portable. It's not the equipment, you can't bring an X-ray machine, but we can do basic blood work, all that. Back in the States, we have very small machines for all this stuff. We can even do ultrasounds. We can do our own ultrasounds of the abdomen and echoes. That would be great.
You were also telling us about the volunteering as far as the doctors go, and why it's so important to be able to give 2 months or commitments or minimum of 3 months. Still a lot of people, they think, I'll go and do a few weeks, 2-3 weeks of work, and it takes only that long to just get a hang of place. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah.
And why the longer term commitments brings much more result, and that's what's needed here.
Yeah. Just coming to Vietnam from anywhere in the West it's a big culture shock. It's a big, it's jet lag and everything. It literally takes you a week and a half just to get yourself accustomed to being in Vietnam. And so we have people come over. We used to have volunteers that came over for 2 weeks at the orphanage when I worked there, and they were productive in their last 2 or 3 days. They really were, just to get used to the culture and to get used to everything. It takes time, and even as a doctor coming over, they need to be here for a certain amount of time. You're going to spend the first 2-3 weeks getting used to the culture, and then you're productive, and that's when we want you. I would like, when volunteers come over, I'd love for them to spend a week in Hanoi sightseeing, or 2 weeks in Saigon sightseeing, whatever they want. Let them sightsee, get used to it, and then come here, and then we'll be productive. But a couple weeks is not enough. We've got to get people to give up more time, and that's not easy.
Are there any central places, whether it's in the States or in other countries, like in other Western countries, where let's say after first year of practice, some new doctors, they find out about these types of opportunities for volunteering, and they can come and enroll? For example, how will they find out about your organization?
Well, hopefully I'll at some point be able to shove it down all their throats and make them come. But it's interesting that in the last couple of years, it seems in med schools and in residencies, it's been kind of popular to this international health. Mm-hmm. It's always been around. It was around when I was in medical school, but it's becoming more popular. I think it's getting funded now. So I think that's the way to do it, is to approach university and offer this. First year out, we probably wouldn't want them, but once you're a second or third year resident in internal medicine, they can do all the stuff that we're doing, and I love them. They still have the zest and the energy, and so it's either going to be them or it's going to be doctors who have retired. I think are probably the ones that we're going to have. But I mean, approach the university, which I'm going to do when I go back in next week. I'm going to approach the university and say, this is the program I have set up. Can you commit these grads? It's a little hard to do it though for more than a month probably, but if we can get them coming over here for a month and a half at a time, that'd be great. There's a lot of them. We can rotate them through.
So people who may be watching this and they want to help, either the medical doctors, the doctors who want to volunteer, or people who want to donate, the best way for them to contact you is to because we're going to provide your website address and actually link to a couple of your newsletters. They've been very informative. I love them.
They've changed
and then your email address, and then they basically contact you directly and say, okay.
And it's and both Anna and I will both be receiving those emails, so just contact us directly, and we'll let them know. If they have things to donate, if they have supplies, we'll let them know what we need. There's some things we don't need. Believe it or not, you can get a lot of basic medicines over the counter here for very cheap.
Right.
So people want to bring medicines. Usually we can get medicines, but equipment we're really looking for. We'd love to be able to do little ultrasounds, and all that would save us a lot of time and effort. So.
Right. And in addition to doctors, how about like physiotherapists?
Yeah. When I say, I don't work alone. I work with 5 other charities here in town, and they all do great stuff. And physiotherapists are in need in town through all the different charities. Good physiotherapists, nutritionists, we love nutritionists. Speech therapists, you find a speech therapist is like finding gold. They're hard to find, and we need them over here. So speech therapists, physios, and nutritionists are big. And people who are good in healthcare, nurses are fantastic. I love nurses.
And they come, it's very easy, or is it difficult? I don't know, because you'll have people like Anne these people would need to
translate,
overcome the language barriers, or even some of the cultural barriers in terms of how to communicate. And
one of my last volunteers was going to help me set up this kind of like a little booklet on the quick education when you come to Vietnam, just kind of get you past all these things.
Because a lot of people, they get intimidated. Oh, the language difference, the culture difference, so they try to go and pick somewhere else. So I just want to let these people know that there are ways to deal with it, and actually it seems like it works out good when.
Yeah, it works out great. Vietnam's also a beautiful place. So, and there's not. I'm preaching in the choir. I realize you guys know this is wonderful. It's a great place to come vacation, and so you get the best of both worlds here. You get to enjoy the beautiful scenery, and you get to enjoy the north and south are both beautiful. But that comes with there's a lot of poverty in the country. And you can do a little bit to help out while you're enjoying it. And so you do half and half. We could be in somewhere like Kabul or something. At least we've got beautiful scenery. It's safe here. It's very nice, and then you got people who are really in need. Just go out to the countryside and you'll see there's people who are quite poor.
Anything that I should ask? Because